What's going on, everybody? Jack Acid here with round 4 of the season challenge mode of F1 2012, and we are now competing in the Toro Rosso car. This is our second race, and hopefully out of 2 races, depends on if we're able to beat our rival, which is Romain Grosjean in the Lotus. And we are here in Montreal, Canada. So starting us off on our qualifying lap here, going to kind of scan through it, and you can see that already in turn 2, already losing time on the leader, but able to get ahead for now and see how long I can compete with the pole position time. Don't expect it to be that long, as you can see that Vettel, who's the pace leader through this sector, already ahead of me now. And get the braking point all wrong here at turn 6, and that cost me dearly in time. As you can see, the ghost of Vettel speeding away here, and going to be a challenge to catch up. This is the first time I have raced on this track in F1 2012, and you can see that I have an absolutely miserable session. 2 positions down from my teammate Daniel Ricciardo up into P16, and Grosjean all the way up into P8. So we definitely have our work cut out for us here on race day. And it's a little deceiving here on this circuit. I hold this track dear to me because it was the first race that I won in F1 2010. But it was definitely more of a challenge in F1 2011 and didn't have nearly as much success as I had in 10. And so we'll see if it holds true in F1 2012, if it ends up being more of a challenge. And probably has more to do with the AI than anything else. But this is all uncharted territory for me here as we start off in P18. Looking at the back of my teammate Ricciardo, was sent on the left-hand side in P17, and a pretty good start here, heading down into this very, very tight chicane here at turn 1. And you can see almost make contact with my teammate, able to slice through and somehow avoid hitting anybody. And now making contact with Hulkenberg and trying to take advantage. And there's Grosjean on the left-hand side, and Massa separating us here, and able to get ahead of Grosjean. And now riding up behind Fernando Alonso here, and up into P8. And spirited a couple of corners here. Let's see what happens here at turn 6, where I had a hard time in qualifying, and basically do a little lawn mowing, trying to give Alonso a little bit of room, but now able to get ahead of him. And now up into P7, so basically ran out of track to share there with Alonso and had to go off onto the grass a bit, but no illegal overtake. Basically had only a couple of wheels off the circuit. And Alonso pushing me very, very hard down here into the tight hairpin. I believe it's called the L'Épingle hairpin here, and always a challenge when you get the new game to find out how to handle those types of hairpins, and pretty clean there. Looking at the back of Hamilton up in P6, and let's see what kind of speed we have in the Toro Rosso here along the long Casino Straight, heading into the very, very fast chicane at the end here, right into the wall of champions. And let's see what happens, and get it all wrong. Cut off the chicane very, very badly, and I slowed my car down significantly by doing that. And you can see Felipe Massa somehow miraculously does not get by me there, but definitely did not get my entry point right, and it almost cost me a position. Somehow I'm very surprised I didn't lose a position there to the Ferrari. And you can see Romain Grosjean back in P11 now. We were able to pass him there right around here, actually, on the first lap. So as long as we don't have any considerable problems, we should be able to stay ahead of him. But again, this track can be very deceiving. And there you can see I go a little tiny bit wide there at turn 6 and 7. And Massa very keen to get around me now, as I set fastest sector time in sector 1. But Felipe Massa not intimidated at all, heading into this tight little chicane. Very easy to go wide there, and you can see he's having a look on the outside. Let's see if he makes a move, able to stay ahead of him, heading into the hard braking point here, setting another fast sector time. So that's good news in terms of trying to gain ground on Hamilton after my near off near the wall of champions. And now getting along this straight, you can see the gap starting to expand out a great deal. And DRS will be activated after the end of this lap. And let's see if we can handle the chicane a little bit better. It's definitely different in F1 2012. And still don't get it right. And Massa now making contact with the wall. He zoomed right by me and hit the wall of champions. And now we are almost wheel to wheel coming down the start-finish straight. And let's see who's got the guts here at the first corner. And able to swing ahead of him in second gear, but now going a little bit wide around. This is a very, very awkward corner there. It's extremely easy to go wide unless you have your speed and your entry just right, and you can see that Felipe Massa not able to get around me, and if anything actually falls back a bit. But just like the AI, I myself have slow parts of the circuit, so I undoubtedly will see Felipe Massa before too long here. And I have to think that P7 is a little ambitious here at Canada, but you never know. And again, as long as we beat Grosjean, we're in pretty good shape. And cutting through the chicane here, and you can see the AI is very quick through here. And it's obvious I'm going to have to stay on my racing line there, otherwise they're going to be able to overtake. And so now trying to cut off the apex to make sure the Ferrari's not able to get around me. And we are heading into round 3 of the Wall of Champions. So far, not so good. Felipe Massa just swung right by me. And we had a near, actually did have a small collision there, and he hit the Wall of Champions, but obviously not damaged. Actually, there is no damage in this mode. And hitting the curb here and almost losing the car. Have to correct my steering right away, and you can see that Felipe Massa is able to get up into P7 as a result of my mistake. Rosberg chasing in the Mercedes, and let's see if we can get by Massa here at turn 1, and we're able to get our speed down and maintain our position on the racing line. Still going a little wide there, but no matter, keeping the AA behind us. But now I am very, very nervous about going through that chicane. In installments of the past, you could typically kind of abuse that chicane, and to Codemaster's credit, they've really tightened it up and punish you for being lazy about it. As you can see, having more problems here at turn 6 and 7. Clearly rattled, and now Felipe Massa might get very aggressive. As you can see, I get a little wobbly, and here he comes on the inside, and he's going to try and beat me here down at the braking point, but it's not going to work. And able to stay ahead of him. He's given me a couple of goes through that part of the track, so clearly it's something that I have to be mindful about. And now coming into the hairpin here, we're going to have to be careful about the DRS, which is there's a zone that's activated just up here, and I have kept track of my curves up until this point because I want to make sure that Felipe Massa can't make a move on me. You can see burning it off now, and here he comes. Let's see what happens. Second to last time we have to come through, and finally able to get through it pretty much flawlessly. Didn't get too close to the wall, didn't have to slow down too much, but a very, very big sigh of relief getting through that chicane finally. And we're going to have to do it one more time. This is the start of lap 5, and still got plenty of room for problems. You can see there's a very, very good sized train behind me, and it looks a lot more condensed as the AI closes in on me, but as long as we don't have any problems here, we should have no problems beating Grosjean and becoming teammates with the Iceman, Kimi Räikkönen, in the next race. And honestly, I haven't been looking forward. I haven't been paying any attention at all to the calendar in this mode. I was complaining about a couple videos ago about how I think that it's frustrating that you can't change the schedule and that this is a static calendar. But I actually haven't looked ahead, so I'm not even sure what the next race is, and that's kind of exciting. I sort of want to be surprised. And now getting it very, very wrong here on the last time at the hairpin, heading into the casino straight, and guess what, folks? We still have one more Wall of Champions to confront before we get this result. And Sebastian Vettel crossing the finish line for the victory. And I really hope this doesn't hurt. Felipe Massa looking on the inside, and don't get it quite right, but not as bad as it could be. And now Rosberg has overtaken Massa at the last possible second and stolen P8. So very excitable finish there for the latter half of the top 10 of the cars on the grid. So able to beat Grosjean, who finished 12th, and we were hoping to finish 13th and finish 7th. I believe this is my best result of the season so far. And you can see my teammate finishing there in 16th, so obviously a very good result for me. And wondering now if with Lotus, if I could start competing for a win. Going to be something I'm going to have to wait and see on. Again, I haven't checked the calendar, not sure what the next race is. I don't want to spoil it for myself. But pretty happy with how this came out, especially with how many mistakes I made and just how many close calls, especially at the Wall of Champions, which, again, I'm very impressed with how much they've done with it to make it truly challenging, and I'm looking forward to spending some time learning it as I continue to invest hours into this game. So hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. Feel free to check out my channel for a number of other F1 2012 videos, and of course I've got some Forza 4 as well as some F1 2011 if you're interested in watching some older stuff. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.